Good afternoon, and what a combination of speakers we have today. And first of all, let me have great pleasure and privilege to welcome our new ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Qatar, His Excellency Dr. Claudius Fischbach. I'm delighted to welcome him to Qatar and our continuing association in bilateral terms. I'm sure with his arrival, will be improving. With trade or investments, banking or finance, we will together build this partnership to enhance the bilateral opportunities in the days to come. We also have Mrs. Catherine Lemke, representative German Industry and Commerce. Mr. Norbert Rieck, founder and managing director, FIC Frankfurt International Consulting, our friend and partners over the years. As my chief representative has mentioned, since 2011, we have been in Germany. We are having a great experience in terms of bilateral promotions, and it's our pleasure and privilege to welcome all the distinguished guests participating across the globe from 19, 20 countries, as I saw a few minutes before. I'm sure we will be in a position to add value to further strengthen our objectives. Let me come to the summary of the opportunities. We have listened to three experts now, including His Excellency the Ambassador. I want to present to you the bigger picture as such and how we can converge in terms of substance to promote bilateral values. Understand what we are going through is an extraordinary set of changes and challenges. Conceptually, we have a transformation in the new world order. We had four sort of risk we are seeing. One is the economic risk and governance to fix the economic risk. Fiscal and monetary measures have been taken across the globe to fix the economic risk and bring in financial stability. Trillions of dollars have been pumped across the globe. Over 25 trillion has been put through by various governments across the globe. 190 countries are engaged in making sure humanity is restoring its dignity. What is happening is truly unforeseen. After 1930 depression, we are in great recession. So that's the first one. The human risk, 25 million people are impacted. Nearly 850,000 people are no more. This is not an ordinary issue. It's painful. We have taken measures to fix the risk in terms of social governance, hygiene practice, distancing. Now we have to make the momentum to restore normalcy. Every country is contemplating options in piecemeal process to bring in normalcy. Again, there are speculations whether the second wave can come like a fire and create an additional impact. We don't know, but there are major challenge still left out. Unless the entire 7 billion people around the world are fully administered the clinical solution, medical solutions, we are not sure the next day. That's the kind of challenge we are facing. The third risk which we are seeing is environment. Beautifully, His Excellency Ambassador Fischbach has mentioned. I see it is a major issue, very big issue. Unless we build environment sustainability, our future generation is not well off. Look at the changing dynamics in the world. 27% of the global carbon emission come from China. 15% comes from United States. 10% come from Europe. 7% from India. How do we create carbon neutral society? How do we take this crisis into an opportunity to look at alternatives, change the energy mix? I'm not sure. What sort of reorganization is going to come? How do we factor environment into the trading? How do we build new partnership between Qatar and Germany, for example, to bring in further environment sustainability? Of course, they are participating in the solar. And again, petrochemicals are imported from here, but is there an opportunity for LNG as well? We don't know. We have bigger questions to answer. We also have social risk. We are human beings. We love each other. We like each other every day. Everything is interesting as long as we love people. The love is what is driving the whole humanity, human dignity. Not seeing each other, not physically interacting. This is something which is truly, we are trying to adopt, but it is how long? We are passionate, we are compassionate at times. We want to be normal. That's the risk we have. So this needs to be mapped in substance. This needs to be mapped in total terms. Germany has come out beautifully in terms of healthcare management. 250,000 people are impacted for a population of 83 million. And the mortality rate is less than 10,000, 9,300 plus. It's a good sign. Qatar also has done extremely well. Over 650,000 people are tested. Mortality is less than 200. The healthcare has worked pretty well. Infrastructure, which Qatar has invested over the years, has worked. Now, what is in store? How do we convert this crisis into an opportunity? That's the question. How do we eliminate extreme poverty in the world? Let's look at the universal missions. How do we bring in food security? How do we ensure universal education, onshore, offshore, online, offline education? That's the beauty. The gender equality we could bring in. Bigger opportunity to use this crisis, because rapid acceleration in terms of digital governance can enhance the opportunity for even household people are coming to building a knowledge economy. That's an opportunity in my pursuit of interpretation. Universal health care. We have to care about our basic fabric. If your body and mind is not stable and functional, what's the purpose of living? So universal health care is a major transformation. At least the right footprints have been set in to have the hygiene. The measurement mechanism is now giving a new world order in terms of hygiene, healthcare. That's we need to establish for the entire world. In an interdependent, interconnected world, we have to care for everyone, humanity at large. How do we use the digital governance for eliminating the bureaucracy, eliminating the parallel economies, corruption, and making sure we bring in transparency and ensure we have peace, justice, and institution, truth of justice prevails. We have to look at it objectively, for which we need to build partnership. We need to reinvigorate humanity into prospects. We need to focus on making sure human dignity is at stake, and we need to come together, build this partnership. And that's the need of the hour. And that's what every human person, human kind has to work on it. With that perspective in mind, countries to country, we have to collaborate. Continent to continent, we have to collaborate. And we realize we are global citizens to build this partnership. One such endeavor is today to build this partnership between Qatar and Germany. And let's look at what Qatar is all about. In global terms, we have seen the reflection of IMF predicting not less than 4.9% is a contraction. 4.9% contraction. Advanced economies are grossly underperforming to the tune of 8% in aggregate terms. Emerging markets, so-called developing economies, are going to grossly underperform to the tune of 3%. Middle East, North Africa, Afghanistan, Pakistan are all going to underperform to the tune of 3.5%. That's the world we are in. Different projections are coming, but by and large, this is a consensus provided there is no second wave. If there is a second wave, the disconnection could be further. We don't know whether we can restore normalcy next year. Germany handled well. 7% contraction is a projection. Inflation is under control. Enormity of the challenge is not one country, one continent, world at large. That's the essence of it. And how can you disconnect people? Today we are in paralysis. And how do we come out of it? And how do we build this partnership between these two blocks? That's the purpose of the discussions. Let me come to the specifics in terms of the presentation. Let's talk about the measures which are taken across the globe in terms of economic governance I mentioned. We also have to make sure the debt servicing capacity of individual or institutions comes in. The liquidity crisis should not move into a funding crisis. Funding crisis should not move into a solvency or sovereign issue. In 2008, it was confined to one single sector, financial services, because subprime crisis. Today, this impacts every single sector. So, lowering the interest rate, the monetary policy comes from the technocrats, central bankers. They lowered the interest rate, containing the interest rate and probably making sure there is no hike for the next few years. Even if you look at the changing dynamics in terms of inflation, America has spelled out last Wednesday, Federal Reserve Chairman has mentioned he's not going to think of interest rates. He wants to look at inflation so that the growth momentum comes in. So all sort of alignment between fiscal and monetary prudence comes in. That's the essence of it. So let me move on to the next slide. Qatar economy, how it's going to perform. Qatar economy is going to contract to the tune of nearly 5%. It is supposed to regain its momentum next year by 5%. 4.5% contraction this year, next year 5% growth with a possible current account and fiscal deficits. German economy has a different equation in terms of inflation, the growth momentum. Next year again will be gaining its positive territory, and we have reasons to believe both this economy can align in multiple form and substance. Now, Qatar economy in specific terms, if you look at the, let me move on to the specifics of the Qatar economy.
Located on the region's busiest shipping route, Qatar is perfectly positioned for international trade, with direct air and sea connections to Asia, Africa and Europe. Qatar is becoming a leading destination for next-generation business models. Its thriving, knowledge-based economy has helped secure its place among the most competitive business environments in the world, an ideal destination for foreign investment. The past 4 decades have seen a 9-fold increase in Qatar's population to 2.7 million. The current political blockade by neighboring countries has only served to strengthen the nation's self-sufficiency, and strategic investment continues to accelerate. Qatar has already spent $33 billion on infrastructure projects, with new contracts to be awarded over the next 3 years, not least with the 2022 FIFA World Cup on the horizon. The national strategy, Vision 2030, is even more ambitious. Qatar is known as the world's leading supplier of liquefied natural gas and a leading player in aviation and sports and the media.
This is Qatar economy for my German friends. When it comes to central bank, they have taken measures. Germany has pumped nearly 750 billion in terms of fiscal support. Qatar has put 20.5 billion, 75 billion Qatari riyals, and we have both funded as well as non-funded support in terms of easing the debt servicing, interest rate waiver, loan installments waiver, and sometimes there are concessional advantage for specific industries, impacted industries. They have taken measures, and financial institutions have observed the healthcare regulations and also making sure our banking service is not disrupted. So far, we have managed with accuracy, and regulators are monitoring the additional liquidity time and again. They supported all the financial institutions. Proactive support for funding support. That's the public-private partnership model. As you know, Qatar government has got stake in all the local banks, 16.6%. And that is the public-private partnership model we built in since 2008. Now, additional liquidity was pumped. That's not alone. Now, on the hydrocarbon side, Catherine has already mentioned, we're going to move in terms of LNG production from 77 to 110 by 2025, 127 by 2027. Let's see what the minister has.
But as I mentioned, regarding the North Field, we are full steam ahead. We are, as we have mentioned in the past, we're going to be awarding all our contracts for North Field expansion project. We have two phases, the east and the south expansion. We're going to go from 77 million tons per annum to 110 million tons per annum by 2025, and then up from 110 to 126 by the year 2027. We've ordered all the shipping requirements, and we've booked slots for about $20 billion we've announced just a couple of weeks ago, and that's at the cost of around $20 billion US, and we've booked up 60% of the entire world's capacity of building LNG ships. So these, we call them our moving pipelines, if you will, but that's to have our full supply chain up and ready by the time we have all the developments in place.
That's the hydrocarbon side. Let's look at the glimpses of the non-hydrocarbon. FIFA 2022, Ambassador Fishbaugh has mentioned this beautifully. These are engineering marvels, the stadiums. Billions of dollars have been spent, and it is going to be a sustainable project development in substance. And that's what Mr. Hassan Fawadi, the Secretary General of FIFA 2022, is working hard in line with the government mission. Now, if you look at the forward to host all our German friends for FIFA 2022. Meanwhile, the airport is the world class. I want to show you for this COVID preparation how Qatar civil aviation authorities have taken extraordinary efforts. Qatar Airways has been a flagship carrier, and they have taken enough healthcare precautions to manage the travelers. That's the airport for you. The Qatar exchange has been doing well. Qatar economic fundamentals are strong, as you know. If you're going to produce 127 million metric ton, if I convert everything into one fabric, it's equivalent to 6 million barrels of oil. Then you can see the financial stability. Companies which are listed there have got very strong future prospects, earning capacity as well as current valuation. If you look at it, it is not justified. But having said that, this is an opportunity we thought we should leverage and offer to international investors. We produced, reflecting the Qatar's economy as a barometer, Qatar Exchange Traded Fund. Here is the fund. This fund is a reflection of the Qatar Exchange. The top 20 companies, with respect to the industry type, we brought in together. I think we're here to support the mission. Those who want to invest in Qatar, here is an opportunity. It is very well managed, and again, it's a reflection of Qatar economic fundamentals, and it is diversified in terms of discipline. So the risk is measured, managed, and controlled. And private banking and Guni, you can work together in close coordination with the rest of our representatives and also the participants to see how we can add value for their money. Now let me move on to the next one, where There was a question by Norbert, whether to go for onshore or offshore, what the free zone is all about. Here is my answer. What is a free zone?
Authority is establishing a cluster of free zones, including Ras Bafuntas, located beside Hamad International Airport, the best airport in the Middle East, and Al Hul, with direct access to Hamad Port, the world's biggest greenfield port development. Qatar free zones offer foreign investors 100% ownership, zero customs duty and corporation tax, no individual income tax, quick building permits, and access to a skilled workforce. On the ground, free zones also provide fully serviced plots, dedicated security, hotel and retail facilities, as well as advanced broadband to ensure optimal connectivity. While Qatar welcomes investment in any sector, exciting opportunities already exist in logistics, e-commerce, food packaging, pharmaceuticals, and plastics. With an eye to the future, we're also focused on disruptive industries, such as renewable energy, power storage solutions, and artificial intelligence. Be part of the Qatar Free Zones initiative, with everything in place, from essential infrastructure and facilities to ease of shipping and customs. Your business can flourish as a truly global player in partnership with the Qatar Free Zones Authority.
They have 3 billion allocation to support the mission as such, and Doha Bank and the rest of the team from various institutions can support this mission again. We will work together with Qatar German Business Council, and also we will introduce through our corporate finance team the opportunities in the marketplace. Qatar Investment has committed for investments in Germany. On September 9th, when the Qatar German Investment Forum took place in Berlin, there was a committed arrangements, and His Highness Amir has mentioned that, and Qatar Investment is looking for opportunities. That's what the Minister has to say.
SME is the backbone of Qatar's economy. Presently, SMEs make up 79% of the total companies and firms in Qatar. Ali is the owner of a thriving business. He intends to expand his business by opening new outlets across Qatar. To do this, he needs the right financial support. He calls the relationship manager at Doha Bank and explains his intention to further expand the business. The relationship manager then pays a visit to Ali's factory to discuss his expansion plan and come up with a solution to expand his business. The SME relationship manager offers various products in order to serve Ali's long-term capital requirements, in addition to short-term working capital financing. He also introduces him to a range of products and services that include business loans, short-term procurement financing, invoice and check discounting, overdrafts, letters of credit, and
guarantees. See, how it works is, I have to answer to Catherine. See, when it comes to SME, every single commercial institution, commercial bank has got their own products. In addition, we have Qatar Development Bank through Al Damin programs that is partially guaranteed. 87% of my lending is guaranteed by Qatar Development Bank. So we can look at both the options on the debt side. On the equity side, as I mentioned earlier, if there is a clear know-how, we can present it across to Qatar Development Bank. German know-how, we can present it and incorporate them into the programs. And a seed capital comes in, or mezzanine financing comes in. And banks can also step in to support their own debt participation. So all opportunities are open. What is Al Damin? COVID time, Qatar Development Bank has come out as a government promulgation, a complete waiver of rent or salaries they are giving to those institutions which are impacted. And there is joint risk participation between the commercial banks and the development bank to support those institutions which are impacted. There's a special programs, guarantees, working capital finance is being given. And there are huge turnout in these two missions. So it's happening, and it is supporting the overall backbone of the economy, that is SME. We invite German companies to explore these opportunities so that we can disseminate the information, we can facilitate directly as well as through Aldamin programs. Now, finally, to conclude on the German side, I talked about Qatar side and the bilateral side. Just briefly, I'll sum it up. Let me move on to the EU. European Central Bank is sitting in Frankfurt, a beautiful city where our office is also there. And German economy is a very strong economy, $4 trillion economy. And even though there's a contraction this year, this will bounce back, as I said earlier. And ECB itself, actually the two type tranches, they have pumped money, 750 billion to start with, additional 600 billion the second tranche. So it is working reasonably well in terms of overall fiscal stimulus. European companies are responding well, and the headquarters sitting in Frankfurt in Germany. And Qatar German bilateral relations, some of the glimpses, I want to show some photographs. The German Innovation exhibition took place October 2017. It was a beauty. Watch it for half a minute.
A design lab in the center of this exhibition in Doha provides a window into some of the most innovative German techniques from the past 70 years. From the evolution of the TV, intricate furniture, virtual reality and sports shoes, each design has improved leaps and bounds, decade by decade.
You know, looking back of some of the older designs of some of the Mac computers and looking at it and thinking, my goodness, how could we even have used those, 20, 30 years ago? Looking at what we have now, we're so lucky, the advancement in design, but that's how it all started, and that's what we need to show the audience.
It also traces the development of some of the most famous German cars, which have pervaded popular culture.
Again, solar technology, it's a good alliance. Qatar invested in Solar World German Solar Art Festival in November 2017. And
here, it's all about Germany. Now, today we're at the launch of two landmark exhibitions celebrating excellence in German design. To tell us more about this initiative, I'm joined by Halil Al-Ibrahim, Chief Strategic Planning Officer for Qatar Museums. Halil, great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Can you start by telling me, Year of Culture, what's it all about?
Year of Culture basically is an exchange of culture, heritage, and sports for the full year. So we start at the beginning of the year, and it ends obviously at the end of the year, then take on the turn for the next country. And this year we're very lucky to be with partnering with Germany, and these two exhibitions are part of that.
And the next is the German Qatar Forum, That was in 2018. Here is a glimpse. Again, we established Qatar's German Business Forum, and Sheikh Faisal is signing an agreement with the German counterpart, and that's doing well. And with Catherine arrival in terms of their mission, we can collaborate further and move forward. Qatar investment law also has improved 100% participation. That's the next point I want to impress upon.
Qatar Financial Centre. The facts. It's in Qatar. We're a business and financial centre. We give businesses the power to do business here, here and here. And this is our pitch. We're a platform to launch businesses east to west and west to east. We like this. We're not so keen on this. That won't happen. This will happen. Setting up your business here is like this, never this. We hate closed doors, even really nice closed doors. We're like you. And because we're like you, we've organized a world where business is done the way we both like it. Fast, easy, smooth. We're green lights, blue skies and high fives. You want to work with John, Rashid and the Hyun-Woo sisters, and because we have them on speed dial, we can get you to the game. Not so long ago, we were this. Now, we're this. So saddle up. You're riding the Success Express, and wherever you go, we can help you grow. Qatar Financial Centre. We mean business.
We mean business. That's the bottom line. So what is in store? These are the 4 opportunities: sports, digital, financial, media. Financial Centre is an enabler for the overall business climate. It is doing a great job, and it is an enabler. We can add value. With regard to the investment law, has been redefined, as you know. 100% foreigners can own certain specific projects. The law is permitting. Law number 1 of 2019. That's an advantage which you can leverage. Property laws have changed, and again, there are areas where you can have your own property. It could be for business, it could be for personal, residential. So there is an amended framework. There are areas. Most important thing is building a public-private partnership. That was promulgated this year, and that's a good development. And essentially, that is going to be a competitive offering. On 31st May 2020, the new law has been passed, and that will build the bridge between public and private partnership. still there's a scope. That's what when I was conversing with Catherine, I was mentioning we should explore the possibilities to further strengthen food security prospects. And a few words about FinTech Hub. You have also a business startup, and this is where we inaugurated our office. Please. Thank you, Dr. Even after 2011, there are multiple rounds of knowledge dissemination we did visiting Germany. We are here to improve the bilateral relationship, hydrocarbon side, non-hydrocarbon side, trade side, investment side. I've shown you some of the glimpses. This is not the end by itself. There are bigger opportunities we can create with the arrival of our new ambassador and the business council. We will be in a position to further consolidate our strength from where we are now. And with these words, let me thank you for your participation. Let me ask